Yo, it's Kevin Trades. This is my weekly recap and outlook for DAX, the German index. So let's get straight into it. As you can see, this is the weekly candle. We had a heavily bearish week this week, and we opened at 24,391 and closed at 23,940 basically. If I just go into the daily, you can see from Monday we had bearish, 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 doji, bearish, so pretty much all bearish candles this week. But before I break this down, first things first, we gotta look at the news. We had two news events: unemployment claims at 1:30 on Thursday, and Friday price index, core price index at 1:30 p.m., which pretty much did absolutely nothing. But we'll have a look either way. Very good opportunity this week. Let's break it down. Last week I did say I was looking for buys. I wanted price to if price continue going up, I wanted these highs taken. You can see them highs did not get taken. This sweep was really strong, and instead we just rebalanced and went lower. So I will be deleting these, and I will also delete this level because this level was like a precautionary level if price went higher. But these levels here did kind of hold for buys and sells, which let's just look into it right now. So Monday opened, you can see, so we had this really strong sweep. If I draw equilibrium from there, we were due to rebalance it. High of the week just held as 11 p.m. on Sunday, which is crazy. Shows sellers were in full control, as you can just see. But also high of the day, of course, on Monday. Coming into London session on Monday, if I just mark it out, that was low of the day. Whoa. And my buying level did get hit. Again, this was also OTE, and it was also a 50-minute liquidity sweep, as you can see here. On the lower time frame, 5-minute, it was OTE again. Tap, 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 and it ran almost -2. Ooh, actually did -2 bang on, where we eventually sweeped. I think this is like 12, yeah. We swept 12 AM high, and then we reversed. Let's see on the 1 hour, yep. And that just held as high of the week. And if I just go on to here, you can see, of course, that's OTE, and you could have got this move down. Of course, Monday, New York session, after sweeping this hourly week high, we had this beautiful 5-minute break structure. New York open, let me mark it out. New York open, broke structure. We came down, left behind this 5-minute fairly up, perfectly tapped here. Also here. Well, I'll just draw it out. There we go. We have this 5-minute inverse, which got disrespected here. Inverse tapped into this fairly up, and then yeah, we just continued to go lower. It's funny because we didn't actually go that low. We came down, we edged 9 AM as low. What did I just move? Let's have a look. So look, we just came down. Let's have a look in the 4 hour. So Monday, 3 p.m. Came very low here. Came back to this level, came back up, and then we just closed around here. Coming into Tuesday now. Tuesday was an interesting one because Tuesday is actually what flipped my bias, because you can see here this daily bullish rally up. We were trading inside of it for like 2 weeks, and whenever you see accumulation like this and a fair value gap, more times than not it's going to get disrespected. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 candles inside this bullish fair value gap, and then eventually Tuesday disrespects it, and then Wednesday uses it as an inverse. Let's just go into the 4 hour. You can see the first 4 hour candle on Tuesday, we just broke structure, like took all these lows, including these ones. I will mark these out. I'll mark these out because these were all 4 hour lows and hourly lows, which all got taken throughout the week. and this one reaction, and then there was another one on the 15th. No, it's that one. That one was really good on Wednesday. So coming into Tuesday, you can see held as a high of the day again, 12 a.m. If I just mark that out, yep. This movement here, that is just 115 doing its thing. If I look at it on the 1 minute, you'll see 115. I always go back to 115 because there's a lot of volume for some reason at this time. You can see 115 gap down. I left a big gap, came back, filled the gap in, and then continued dumping. What's interesting is we did actually come back to the level of the gap. And then we had this high here, which just held as a protected high, and we did not take it. I'll make this red. Either way, London session, accumulation here, came for this low, sweep. London opened, again held as low of the day at 8:10ish. It was 8:12, at 13, sorry, held as low of the day. Going to the 15 minute, you can see this low got swept, and then we were holding from this low, and if I draw OTE out from here to here, you can see that this is a sweep, and another sweep at OTE level. So that is hence why it ran so much. Came back up to rebalance this huge fair value up. What do you do? What happens when there's a huge fair value up? We tap the order block. So here in this case, big fair value up. Tap the order block. On the 1 hour now, there was a 1 hour order block here. You can see a sweep and then a break here. 1 hour order block. But yeah, this London session buy, let's just go into it. Could have caught it. It was very clean on like the 1 minute. I know somebody who did catch it. This is a very nice equilibrium tap. Fair value up, inverse fair value up, and then break structures. And honestly, this ran quite a bit, all the way to this high, of course, and then even all the way back up to the 115. New York session. What did New York session do? New York session opened, swept this high, manipulation, swept this low, eventually came back up, 3 p.m. opened, where we eventually tapped into the order blocks and filling in the 4 hour fairly up fully. Very clean. I will remove this line. I will remove a few of these. I will remove this purple line now as well because there's no need. But you can see here my level for some reason held as high the day on Tuesday. Not high the day, but this reversal high the session. I'll delete them now because pretty much useless. We had a very good 15-minute order block right here. Reason being again is sweep, break, and then yeah, that would have just top ticked. The reason being is because you look for a sweep and then a breaker structure. The nearest breaker structure, the nearest to the sweep, so this break structure is nearer to the sweep than this one. So this break structure here would have been a better order block, and this one is just an hourly one. All, of course, all of it lined up with OTE. Let me just draw that out. There we go. And then again, we sold off. You can see 3 p.m. opened, but we didn't sell off completely straight away. Came down, reversed the second 15-minute candle, reswept, as you can see here. So many lines on my screen, I apologize. As you can see here, we reswept, tapped the 15-minute order block. Protected high did not get taken at 1 o'clock, 1:11, and then we reversed, and you could have caught this move. You can see here, sellers in control, Fair value up's getting respected, inverse is getting respected, and we sold off all the way till here. Again, similar movement. We closed around here, and then Wednesday now we closed. Whoa! Finally disrespecting this bullish fair value up, which we were trading inside of for 2 weeks, which is nice. I will draw this out and make it blue. Wednesday opened. We also came back to tap this again, this forward bearish fairly up. I'll just draw it out. Forward bearish fairly up got respected. Let's start looking on the 5-minute. High the day held here for some reason at 440. Very good. We just filled it in nicely. Again, OTE region. I don't think it was exact, but 786, close enough to around OTE 0.8. Very nice. As soon as we did that, if I just go on the hourly, you can see sellers in control. Box structure, where we left behind this huge breakaway gap. I will draw this out. And then London session, drawn liquidity being this low, and also the low, which you could have caught the buy from on Tuesday, would have been your drawn liquidity, so I'll make that green. Either way, let's look at London session. London session would have been a continuation. If it's, I believe it's here. 5-minute fairly up. This was 7 a.m. London session opened, wick down, came up, swept a high, broke structure at 15 past, left behind a big 5-minute fair value up, respected it, came down for that draw liquidity. Pretty simple. This 5-minute was very clean, came back up again, OTE level, also tap in a 1 hour bearish fair value gap. I'll make that red, why not? And if I want to see this on the forward, that was Thursday. But yeah, this move here is self-explanatory. Tap this 1 hour bearish fair value gap, OTE, back into this 5-minute. You can see broke structure, 5-minute inverse, very clean, 5-minute bearish fair value up, equilibrium, very clean equilibrium. And then we reversed, of course, going for this low. Now coming into New York session. That was New York session. We just accumulated, came up. I'll mark it out. New York session. Just going on the 15. Came up, down, accumulation up. Took this low, and then that held as low the day on Wednesday. Either way, Wednesday closed down here. Thursday opened, and now at this point, Wednesday close was pretty down low. You can see. And then Wednesday reversed. Thursday, sorry. Reversed back into this 4-hour bearish value up. So many lines on my screen, I apologize. Delete everything. You can see the 1 hour breakaway gap did not get touched into, which is interesting. We could see that happening next week, which is something to point out. But yeah, let's look at London session on Wednesday. It was just a tap in of this forward bearish rally up. Huge fair value up. What happens? We tap the order block, and that was just high the day. Pretty simple. Soon as we've tapped it, big break structure, big 5-minute fairly up. 5-minute candle down, broke structure, tapped equilibrium.
Tapped equilibrium here, tapped equilibrium here. Again, break structure. And then price came down for this low. I was talking about this low last week. I did end up deleting it. But I think I mentioned if this fair value up is disrespected, we're ultimately going to come down for this low, which we eventually took on Friday. But Thursday's price action was very clean. Higher the day just held on London, and we came for the lows. We'll have a look at what New York session did, because I believe we did have news, right? On Thursday we had 1:30 news. I'm pretty sure it just pumped. Yep, I can tell. We swept 115 low. Was that low of the day? Pretty sure it was. Yes. Wow. This sell here was very nice. Came back up. Came to sweep this week high. Can tell. Yep, that's a news candle right here. That's what news did. Came up to sweep a high. I want to see this on the hourly. Yep, it was just an hourly. So many lines on my screen. Hourly inverse. Hourly bearish fair value up. Equilibrium tab. After filling in of our bearish fair value up. And then we reversed. And that was New York session. I want to see this on the 4 hour. Yep. We closed here. Coming to Thursday. Bias was clear sells. The last drawn liquidity would have been this low. Coming to, we had a break structure here. We left behind this fair value gap. 4 hour was bearish. From where though? I believe where was the last break structure? Here. Okay, so all time frames we were bearish as heck. When I was bearish, 4 hours bearish. Left behind this nice 1 hour bearish rally up. Let me just mark out London. Yep. One thing I don't like about marking out London is I can't see the wicks. There we go. That's way better. So what London did was there was a move here pre-market. Friday was probably the cleanest day. There was a very nice 30-minute inverse. Tapped into at 7, came down for this strong liquidity. Got swept. And then there was also another one. Yeah. This move was just really nice. Very clean, very easy. You can see here at 7 we opened, came up to tap this 30-minute inverse. As soon as we tapped it, we gave a reaction and we came down to sweep lows around OTE area. I guess it was 0.618, but this inverse was very clean. And if I go into the hourly, there was this, not really an inverse, but this hourly bearish fair value up. And there was also this big bearish fair value up. Either way, London open, you can see, wick down. Came all the way back up, just resweep this high. And if you just go based off of strategy, 15-minute liquidity sweep would have been right here. I'll make it red. 4 hour bearish, 1 hour bearish, 15-minute liquidity sweep, tap in, 1 hour fair value gap, tap in, OTE from this high to this low perfectly, as you can see here, 812. Breaker structure would have been, where is the nearest breaker structure? I cannot see. Here. Fair value gap here. We also had another breaker structure. Yeah, these nice breaker blocks. Break structures. Am I blind? Low, low, low. That's not a low. Let's check a different time frame. Nope. had one here, and then we also just had clean fair value ups all around. This one's very clean. Either way, we came for these lows. I will delete this. This move here down here was A-star setup. 1 hour bearish, 4 hour bearish, break structure, fair value gap, fair value gap. I'll just mark out all the fair value ups. Fair value up here respected perfectly. Fair value gap here respected perfectly. And then there was this one. There was also this one. Very clean price action all the way down to this draw liquidity, where we ultimately reversed. I'll put a line here. Low of the day held at 9:47. Good timing for low of the day, around 10 a.m. And we came for this high. Did we sweep it? Yes, we did. What a sweep. Pre-New York session. What did news do on Friday? We will have a look if I find it. Yes, that is a news candle. It just went up, swept, and then came for this high, which is fine. All of this liquidity out London got reswept. You can see very clean sweeps here. Finally tapped in fully this fair value up, hourly fair value up. Honestly, the forward did a very clean 4-hour sweep. Then we reversed. New York opened, wicked up, tapped OTE, 5-minute inverse, break structure, break wake up, and then ultimately came back to this level 430, start reverse, sideways, and then closed. But that was this week's price action. Very clean. There was a lot of opportunity this week, without a doubt. Coming to next week, without making this way too long, I am looking for primarily sells. You can see we did close on the monthly. For the last 3 months, we have been going sideways, doji, doji, doji. For me, the next draw liquidity is this low, purely because that low got taken, and I don't reckon this low is going to hold for quite long. Levels, I do see price rebalancing, because that's just what it does. If I just draw equilibrium here, I will put a level here, this high. I want sells from this high. I'm happy with 24210. Drawn liquidity would be this green line for next week. Issue is here, once the next weekly candle opens, we're gonna have a gap here. So we have to fill this gap in at least a bit before going lower, or we could fill it in, close lower, and then next week we can come up and go like this. That's probably what's gonna happen. So what we'll do is I will move my level closer lower to Friday's high. I want sales from Friday's high, which makes more sense to me. And yeah, I will just put one level on this time. There's not really a need to put way more than one level. Worst case scenario, we come all the way up to, I want to see where that 1 hour breakaway gap was, right here. Pretty much equal highs, I'm guessing. Looks like equal highs on the 15. Yeah, this, I would have 2 levels. I might even make this a draw liquidity, honestly, because I reckon Friday high is going to get taken, and I'll just have that as my only level. Yeah, I'll have these 3 drawn liquidities. I want best case scenario. This is what I'm looking for next week. Keep it clear and simple. That was the DAX recap. See you next week. These are my drawn liquidities, green lines, and the purple line is my level.